Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The elementary's obviously not here.
They're
I was
here.
gonna say, where's Bridget's
Oh.
group?
They didn't.
They just did a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, all right, okay.
she lost her.
I need a doctor's note for an excuse.
Are we gonna stand?
What's that?
Are we gonna stand?
Yeah. I'd like to take a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. Mrs. Harder, would you lead us in prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the honor of praying for our schools. Thank you for the communities of St. Mary's, Calder, Avery, Fernwood, Kootenai, and every school district in the surrounding area. Jesus, I pray that you will release your angels of protection to guard every entrance, exit, building, student, teacher, administrator, kitchen worker, custodian, and student support worker in our elementary, middle school, and high schools. I pray that you will cover each child in this community with your protection, those that have no voice, those who are vulnerable, abused, neglected, and rise up a people and resources to care for them physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I ask for plentiful resources to become available in our communities that will help provide for struggling families that feel the stress of finances and lack of support. Thank you, Father, for our teachers who are on the front lines serving our children every day. They are the seers of the needs of their students. Fill them with love and grace and creativity and new methods in their teaching. Thank you for their dedication and devotion each and every day. Give them strength and energy to serve you and their students, and may it bring them joy. I pray for our administration, our principals, district office workers, superintendent, and school board members. Please give them godly wisdom and discernment. May they make decisions that honor you, that benefit our children, and create school environments where connection, love, and great thinkers are produced. They have a tough job. High-profile people are attacked and criticized. So, Lord, please protect them and help them remember their why they are holding their position, and amidst the angry words against them. They have such an important job, and I pray, dear Lord, that they would understand how needed they are, the guardians of education. Please encourage and bless their souls every day. Finally, dear Lord, please bless the support staff, those who serve the school, our office workers, paras, kitchen crew, custodians. They are often the unseen ones, and at times, but they play a crucial role in a child's life. May you bless the works of their hands and the words of their mouths. They so often make an impact on a child just with their smiles. And Jesus, I lift our community and schools to you. I pray that every child will know you. You tell us that if we call out to you and turn from our wicked ways and humble ourselves before you, you will forgive our sins and heal our land. I pray that for our schools, communities, and our nation, please bless, protect, and flourish our children and this community. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consent agenda. The minutes from August 11th, 2025, and record of attendance, August 2025, the bills, financial report, employment. Helene K. Antoni Maza, Hayburn School, Special Education Paraprofessional 2. Analia Ray Brown, Food Services Department, Dishwasher, Upriver School. Leanna substitute teacher, paraprofessional. Barbara K. Harper, St. Mary's Middle School, special education paraprofessional 1, 2025-2026, supplemental contracts, 2025-2026, fall coaching / volunteer updates, 2025/2026, winter coaching volunteer updates, returning substitutes, substitute teachers, paraprofessionals, substitute transportation department, substitute food service department, substitute maintenance department, and resignations. Randy Joel Bechtel, St. Mary's Middle School girls and boys basketball coach. Christina K. Carpenter, 21st Century After School Program assistant, effective September 11th, 2025. Dana Lang Rude, St. Mary's Middle School Special Education Paraprofessional 1, effective August 18th, 2025.
Moved as presented.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Presentation agenda, monthly building department reports, St. Mary's Middle School.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. I love presenting to you guys because I welcome any opportunity for me to brag on my staff and our students. So thank you for having us tonight. I brought a lot of friends, and I can't wait for them to come up. But I did want to give you just the bare bones of the beginning of our year and what we've got going on. I'm starting first only because I'm going to bring you guys in when we're talking about it. Okay, cool. Thank you for sending us to the PLC Solution Tree Conference this year. I got to take a team with me, and I just feel like we came back on fire and very much pointed into the direction of RTI and grading and what we're calling the Solutions team, which is brand new this year. We're going to take a look at attendance and getting kids to school and holding them accountable. So that's a brand new team. You'll see it in my report. Please come in and interview. Nikki Huddleston is the leader of that team, and she's also on fire with me. So please come in, chat with her, hear what she's got going on. It's very much, you had spoke about attendance at the last meeting. So I feel like she's giving a holistic view on how to get kids there. So please come see us.
All right.
Goal 2, college and career readiness. We're offering some great electives this year. So Earth is back. Our U of I girls, they're back and they're offering 3 sections. We're also, with thanks to Mr. Asbury, he gave us Rusty Ribrick for 1 period a day. So we're building our shop program at the middle school, and it is a hit. So thank you, Bean. And then finally, you're going to hear from Miss Weisenen later. She's offering some forestry options for an elective, and she is on fire. The plans that this woman has are amazing, and you'll hear it in her voice when she presents later. Goal 3, we will have our fire drill this week. Student of the Month is launching. Our football team, Josh is following, right? Who currently, they're just killing it this year. So I give a lot of credit to Coach Morris and his team and the boys. He's been building a program for a few years now, and it's coming to fruition. So, and then Nancy Bechtel, and we just hired Kat Kozer as our librarian, and she's our 7th grade volleyball team. So they had a jamboree this weekend. Lots of great things to report there. Lots of building opportunities. We're excited. And then finally, goal 4, I welcomed 72 new staff members this year. Not quite, but there are several, and in our PLC time, they're just, for lack of a better word, they're killing it. Hannah Henriksen was the top graduate at LCSE. We hired her. She wanted to be here she wanted to be here in St. Mary's from LC. Jake Metke, Casey Hillman, Jackie McGregor. We hired Katrina at the library. We hired Chris Stevens. You guys just approved Barbie Harper from Calder, and then of course Rusty and Kaylee, who serves in our building on a daily basis, and we are so thankful for her time in our building. So that is a skeleton report. Please come see us if you want to hear more. There's so much to brag about in my building. So come have lunch.
Do you have time?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's check.
You show up, and I'm going to show off my building. So come see us, Jody. Awesome. So I'm going to welcome first Miss Ribrick. She's our ASB advisor. She brought some girls here to talk about ASB, what's going on so far. Remember, we just got started. So she runs an advisory. So these girls are going to present on what they've learned so far and the direction that they're going. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Chalice Bonds.
I'm Amelia Wicks.
And I'm Lily Smith. First, good evening, members of the board. We are the St. Mary's Middle School leadership class made up of 6th through 8th graders. Thank you for letting us share what we've been working on and what we're excited about this year. So far, we are focusing on answering the big question, what does it mean to be a leader? We've learned that leadership is not about being in charge. It's about building skills that make us good role models and leaders. Some of the skills we've been practicing including communication, collaboration, problem solving, and helping others.
As ASB members, we have spent time brainstorming our vision for an ideal school culture. The things that matter to us are respect, kindness, no bullying, involvement, pride, fun, good communication, helpfulness, creativity, and encouragement. We want our school to feel welcoming, safe, and supportive for everyone. In leadership class, we practice decision-making, collaboration, and what it means to be ambassadors to new students. Our goal is to help new students feel comfortable and a part of our school family right away. We've also talked about being strong role models by showing respect, dependability, encouragement, and responsibility every day.
As ASB, we've stretched our creativity and learned to step outside of our comfort zones. Sometimes we're given real situations that we may encounter and have to solve them with a partner using our leadership skills we have practiced. This helps us think on our feet and prepare for challenges in the real world. Looking ahead, we are excited to get involved in district and school events. We want to help with dances, activities, and projects that bring our school together. We also want to show the 6th graders how much fun middle school can be while making sure our school always feels like a safe and welcoming place. Most of all, we look forward to collaborating with each other, our teachers, and the administration to create positive change and fun opportunities for our classmates. Thank you for supporting our leadership journey. We are excited to see what we can accomplish this year.
Don't wander off. I'm not going to let you off. So what positions are you guys in?
We're currently all working on communicating and working together to be leaders.
So you mentioned you're ambassadors to these students.
Yeah.
What are you doing to make them feel welcome in St. Mary's?
A lot of things we're doing is simple things, just like asking if you want to walk to lunch together, or showing them around the building, or helping them with lockers, and just simple things that would make them feel welcomed.
Sounds simple, but that makes all the difference when you're a middle school. Way to go, Sean.
Yep. Thanks for coming in.
Yep. Thank you.
And the next up, Ms. Wyson, she's offering that forestry elective that we were bragging about earlier. So she brought one of her forestry students. Lily's here with her.
That's fine.
Lily, just tell me when you want me to clean the slide.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Ivy, do you mind if I record it?
Oh.
First I'll introduce myself. I'm Heidi Weisenin. I was Heidi Thorns when I grew up in St. Mary's. Forestry is kind of in my blood. In 1974, my dad was hired as a forester for the Department of Lands, and that's what brought my family here. My mom taught 25 years at Hayburn Elementary, and so I'm kind of continuing on a little bit of the legacy. My parents needed some help, so we help run their tree farms. So my husband and I bought part of the tree farm and helped them. And so after teaching for a few years, we moved back to St. Mary's, and my classmate and board member, Jody Hendricks, encouraged me to branch out and do something that would be right up my alley, which happens to be forestry. So I appreciate him pushing me a little bit. And the students I knew were up for a challenge as far as a little bit of math and science and some field trips, and so they're really excited, and I'm super excited. I would like to dedicate this year to my dad, Jim Thorns, and to his best friend, Dale D'Amico. So those are two of my heroes. And I would like to turn it over to Lily. Lily actually put together a program for you, and I'm super proud of her. So thanks, Lily.
Of course. I'm super happy to be here, and I'm basically here to tell you that what we're doing in forestry class, what we're going to learn, our ideas. So next slide, please. Thank you. Okay. So we are learning about the forest history. We are learning about what forestry is and what foresters do. We're planning to take a field trip to the University of Iowa to learn more. This is the first forestry class in a very long time, so we're going to make the best of it, and we're super happy we can do this. Okay. This is some of the teachers' ideas we have, and we have all the supplies so far, and we're super excited about it. There's a lot more ideas. I just could not fit a lot in there because they're bigger images. Some of the very common tools that foresters use is a chainsaw, definitely, an axe, and then I cannot pronounce this tool, but I call it a tree core sample. They basically they put it in, they twist it, and then they find the age of the tree. And then they definitely need to use a tape measure, and a few other. There's a lot more tools than this. These are just some of the few. Why is forestry important? Forestry is important because a lot of our daily life, we need trees. To breathe, half the things we use for daily life is made out of trees, basically wood. And then foresters are also important because let's say an insect is starting in a tree and we have people coming to look at it. And let's say insects have a disease and they're starting. If we can figure that all out, that'd be good, obviously. And we can test on trees, and the forest provides jobs for a lot of people, especially in our town. And then foresters help us maintain our forests so they last for the future. And then this is forestry class of 2025. These are all the students in my class. Well, her class, I guess. Includes... Sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that. Bridger, Drew, Vinny, Kaysen, me, Piper, Axel, Patrick, Hope, Mason, and Rory. And then all kinds of forests. There's a lot more forests in this, but these are like what popped up first in my mind. I thought some names were really cool. Rainforest. I love how the picture was. A mangrove forest, dry forest, boreal forest. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Any questions?
Have you guys had any conversations about doing the state forestry contest?
Yes, we have. So basically,
Seen other middle schools competing there.
So our class only goes to a semester, and it's in our class, so more students have more opportunities. But Miss Wisen said she still invited us for doing that since we did do the class. Yeah.
When you're scaling trees, you have a great big jug of fur that's wet next to a smaller full pine that's wet. It gets really close to changing. It will cost you a state forestry title, I promise.
Don't forget that.
I totally get it.
You have that happen to you.
I think I heard that too, a chaperone.
I heard a chaperone there. You can come with us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. It's
Yeah.
awesome
Yeah,
that
of
we're
course.
getting younger kids involved in the forestry program.
I really credit that to Ms. Weissman. This was her baby project.
Yeah.
I'm super happy I can do forestry because my dad over there was a forester, and he logs.
All right.
So I'm super glad I can do that.
Yeah.
Reach out to those potlatch Celtic foresters. One of them's my son. Get them involved.
Come see us. Lots of good things going on.
So, how many kids do you have in the shop class?
Our roster's sitting at about 15, and Rusty's so willing to grow his program, so we're excited that Pink could afford us.
7th and 8th grade both, or just 8th graders?
All three right now, 6th,
Oh.
7th, and 8th. Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I remember a lot of stuff that I learned in middle school, you know, shop class.
Absolutely.
That I still
And
use,
that.
yeah. Yeah,
Good and bad.
and high school.
Did OSHA come visit you?
It was all good.
Yeah, every bit of it.
Thank you.
That was the only shop class I ever had was in middle school.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
I never had
Picture
that
with the
opportunity in
kiddos?
high school.
Oh, yeah. Before you leave, could we get a picture?
Here, come on up. We usually do it in front of the sign.
Yeah, you can come off back here. You can fence or come around. Cords.
Just don't trip on the cords.
Yeah, here, keep moving over.
Okay.
Landscape.
Smile.
Oh, yeah, Keo says landscape.
1, 2.
I took 45.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Great job. Bye. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, maintenance and custodial department. Joe Gilmore?
He's not here, he's, in the ER with his wife, he's gonna be okay.
Good.
So, just a quick report, I just saw his report, and I think it was spot on. They've done a phenomenal job this summer deep cleaning. He always highlights his summer crew. They did some great interior and exterior painting that you'll notice. The grounds look great. They repaired the parking lot and the sidewalk over at the high school and the gym area. Some of those flip locks have been installed. It's an added safety feature that goes along with the extra safety training we're getting. And then his 2025-26 fix-it requests have started. The job's never done. And that's the maintenance. And the report.
All right. Written building reports.
You have each school written report, so I just highlight a few things, and then we have the building principals here, should you have any questions. We can start off with Hayburn. You see a little bit of their data, so you've got, reading and language arts, you see some growth from the start, and math, sorry, you see some growth from the start of the year to the end of the year. Then you look at St. Mary's High School, and you'll hear and see all the building principals speak of their professional learning teams and collaboration to really hone in on good instruction and grade level learning. And I got to watch them in action today, and they identified certain key essential skills that they wanted to see their 9th and 12th grader students have the time they walk across stage. And then their next steps are how do they teach those different skills, and how will they monitor and measure those skills being achieved. Got Upriver, and I'm going to highlight them again in the superintendent report. Again, they have a lot of data just to show really visible, significant growth. And as a result, a big highlight for them later on tonight again will be their executing program improvement. They've made such, they've done such good work and made such significant results. And then you will also just heard from the middle school, so she was able to highlight, and we've got all those great celebrations, especially with our students. And then you got departments, food service, special education, and that's about.
All right. Anybody have any questions for anybody here? All right. C, school and sport photography partnership.
It's just a little update, since we have some new partnerships with our photography. So we have Leo's Photography, who works with a lot of our nearby school districts, and they're in charge of our staff pictures this year. And then for yearbook, we're also using Leo's, but then there's a staff member at each high school and middle school to run and facilitate the yearbook. And with our athletic pictures, we have 2 local photographers, Jessica Harvey and Mary Orr, that will be taking pictures for us.
All right. D, 2025-2026 district enrollment.
Just an update after the first 8 days of school. You can compare last year at the end of the year and where we're at the start of this year.
Down a little bit.
At the end of last year to the start of this year, we're up. But if you compare September to September, we're down a little bit. And then if you compare where we ended in June last year and where we're starting this year, we're up a little bit. And like you heard from Principal Carson, we'll continue to monitor our attendance and discipline and academics really closely and use our problem-solving teams to continue to promote good attendance, less discipline, and increase academics.
School Board Association activities. So, yeah, we got the September 30th ISBA regional meeting in Coeur d'Alene. Got a few people going to
Most of
that.
us are signed up.
And then the November 12th to the 14th, 2025 ISBA annual convention in Coeur d'Alene also. Make it easier to get there.
Yeah.
If you're not having to go to
Well, I think
Boise.
they decided, switch locations, make it a little easier on the northern area school districts.
Right. All right, F, interview Zone 5 trustee candidate Brad Nanke. Thanks for coming in, Brad.
Good evening.
Welcome.
My name is Brad Nanke, seeking the vacated position for Zone 5. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come and speak before you tonight. Application process. Hopefully you got a chance to read the materials I submitted. I won't belabor them much. It kind of says who and what I've done, but not who really I am. And so kind of wanted to just talk about that on the upfront. I'm a professional volunteer, was raised that way. My mother was strongly involved with the church as I was growing up. I used to accompany her to the county mental health facility when we still ran those things. And we would either play games or read to the residents. I worked providing food. My mother taught me compassion, also taught me respect, as did my father, who was a member of the U.S. Marine Corps at the time. So I learned a good work ethic as well. And I know in your June meeting, there was like a 90-second delay video to audio, and so I couldn't really tell who was speaking. But I know you'd spoken of both respect and personal responsibility, and having been involved with a lot of home builders and construction contractors. Many of them have to overhire about 25% just because people don't show up for work. Again, the reason I'm seeking this position is to utilize decades worth of both industrial, manufacturing, and public service. Going back to my earlier years, I was president of my senior high class. I was in band. I was in sports, both of which are massively important in developing our youth. I was very impressed with our leadership students that were in here this evening, and went to college for a semester on a full ride scholarship. I was a 4A first team all-state linebacker when 4A was the top of the line, and I wanted to find out what I wanted to be when I grew up, so I moved 2,000 miles away. I learned more about personal responsibility in California. I escaped there after about 10 years and moved up to the Pacific Northwest. We bought property in St. Mary's here about 6 years ago, been a permanent resident now for 2. I served for 20 years on the Salem City Council, chaired the Finance Committee for all 20 years. I was involved in numerous infrastructure committees, streets and bridges, water wastewater task force, in industry, I was involved in emergency preparedness and response, sat on a statewide local emergency planning commission, also started a local emergency response organization after the tragic incident in Bhopal, India. Our environmental and safety regulations went skyrocketing. I was involved in high purity piping, hazardous chemistry, facilities, moved into environment, health, and safety totally after the regulations updated. Worked as the environment, health, and safety manager for Panasonic, where I actually picked up custodial and security as well. And I know in your June meeting you also spoke about a second entrance to the high school, and I was very interested in that conversation, and then you just let it go. So that was kind of disappointing. I do want to follow up on your meeting subsequent to that to see what came out of that discussion as well, but massively into site security as well. I had a security officer essentially murdered at 2 employers past. Had an employee who had a problem with his supervisor, came in through the first card lock system, shot our security guard, badged himself in through the second, and his supervisor was not on shift that day, so he just sat there and waited for the police to come and arrest him. I had overall security responsibility at Panasonic, and that place was a fortress. We had 8-foot berms around. We had a security gate. No one could enter unless they had one of the employees say that they had a visitor coming. They were never allowed in the building. And so we need to make sure we're protecting our students and our staff as well.
Yeah,
so, again, I have a lot of experience in facilities and facilities maintenance. More than happy down the line to be a resource to staff as needed as well. OSHA, EPA, DOT, I'm a regulations junkie. Back when I was moving up through the system, there were no classes for anything. So I read Code of Federal Regulations. And I read regulations now. I'm still involved in the regulatory field. I teach contractors to be certified renovators. They have to be certified to work in pre-1978 housing because of the potential for lead-based paint, which has a very negative impact on young intellectual development. And so I'm actually working to support our children every day that I'm out in the field performing that. So we used to have 4 meetings a month when I was on council, 500 pages delivered on Thursday for a Monday meeting. I am more than versed at how staff reports are presented, contents thereof, all through the entire spectrum of a policy-making body. I understand the rules very well, as well as serial meetings, executive sessions. So again, my learning curve would be minimal. If appointed, I will read every policy you have, and I know you've been working on that on off meetings every month. And I will continue my video watching so that if appointed again, I would come to my first meeting more than well prepared on the history of the board as well. So with that, I would more than happily answer any questions you may have.
All right. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'd like to start off first. Thank you for applying and being willing to donate your time in another volunteer position. As you're probably aware, this is normally an elected position.
Correct.
But in this vacancy, we have the responsibility of speaking for the voters of Zone 5 and appointing this position for the remaining term.
Correct.
So our district here in St. Mary's is one of the most conservative districts in Idaho. And our county is one of the most conservative counties in Idaho. And as you probably are very aware, Idaho is one of the most conservative states in our nation. Oregon is one of the most liberal states in our nation, and Salem, Oregon, being the capital, is also considered to be one of the most liberal cities in Oregon. And you were also elected city councilman for the city of Salem for 20 years, and were also awarded a service award by the League of Oregon Cities at the end of your tenure.
Correct.
One of the most liberal communities in the United States elected you for 20 years as city councilman, and now you're seeking a position in our conservative school board in one of the most conservative communities in one of the most conservative states in our nation. My question for you is, why should we speak for the voters of Zone 5 and appoint you to this position?
I moved here because it is conservative. Marion County, which is the county seat in Salem, Oregon, is also conservative. It's slowly turning blue, but during my term, I was the only conservative on the Salem City Council, the single no vote for 2 years. And it's a matter of shining the light. And 2 years after that, a majority conservative council took place for 14 consecutive years. And the last 2 years again, I was in the minority. So, Sean's conservative. I was among one of 220 precinct committee persons for Marion County GOP. Soon as I landed here, I got involved with the local GOP. They don't have that many precinct committee persons available to them, but myself and my family volunteer, and we attend their meetings regularly. The people who appointed me to sit on the League of Oregon Cities were also both very conservative. And I was a minority there as well, but moved my way up through leadership to where I was able to speak with our state legislature. We went on field trips, if you want to call it that, to talk with our federal delegation as well. I had private meetings with the governor to push conservative politics as well. But in any board, it's nonpartisan. I am able to hold my tongue when required. I do not hold a grudge. Again, in your June meeting, you were talking about some councils or boards that hop up over and get into fisticuffs and everything else, and that is not how one does business or does it effectively. But always been a conservative, always will be, and that's why I moved here. And to set up the ramparts to protect the way of life of Idaho.
Thank you.
Question for you. So just assuming you've done some research, potentially read through some of our policies, and if you've been following board meetings, you know that we've had a number of topics presented and policies reviewed, edited, and new policies created. In light of those, what would be your views as far as agreeing with some of the policies we've seen, and are there potentially examples of policies that you would have taken a potentially different approach on?
Originally, I couldn't find your policies.
Yeah, neither could I.
Most of us deal with the internet on this, and just the way your page is on a phone, there's this little teeny sub-menu line. All I saw when I originally pulled it up was which policies, and with no content at all, you were in the process of reviewing. So it was only 2 days ago that I was actually able to define the policies and a lot of that material. So I have not reviewed them to the extent that I would like. I do, after having watched a couple of public hearings, have some recommendations to strengthen rules of order. Because I don't want to go deep into it, but will, if I'm appointed, to let you know where there might be some shortcomings, both from a procedural standpoint and how we make sure as a board that, one, we're on our A game and that no one can come back and accuse us of not following the rules in a manner that meets requirements, and a as far as other policies, again, I would need to review those still further. And I don't know how deep you are into that, but I would go back and review the policies you've already gone through as well, to potentially make some recommendations if appropriate.
Do you have any particular issues that you would plan to bring forth to the board? Like anything that you've seen that you see that we're having issues in not handling? I guess you've only been watching since
No,
our June
not
meeting.
right off. Again, just the budget hearings. I have concern with the procedural elements of, and I was very heartened by the student performance metrics that were presented over the last two budget hearings, both 2024-25 and 25-26. And it looks like those numbers are moving in the right direction. And again, that's, I think, why all of you are here as well, for quality education and to make that group of children strong enough and smart enough to where we don't have any concerns that they can take over as we fade off into our sunset years.
That's right. Anybody else have any questions?
I guess the running joke about the school boards, it's only one meeting a month.
Oh, no. Not when I heard the list of minutes to be approved.
Yeah.
And again, I'm used to 4 meetings a month from a political body. I also chaired at least 3 or 4 committees that met, and I had originally 5 neighborhood associations within my ward boundaries, and I attended every one of their meetings every month as well. So I am no stranger to meetings. I went back and actually got my degree when I was 50. Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, and I did that while I was serving on council and working full-time. I took classes as needed in my upfront and self-taught to get where I ended up, but then went back to school. I was doing 23 credit hours a term because I was going to community college and the University of Eastern Oregon at the same time. I had people doing 26 credit hours in my cohort. And we didn't sleep much. So, yeah, not afraid of hard work and whatever it takes to get the job done. I set my own schedule now. I do, depending on what your schedule would be, because of some other scheduling issues, have my 4th week of this month possibly teaching classes in Oregon. My son still lives in Salem, so I go back for part of 1 week a month, and as an independent contractor, teach for the Oregon Home Builders Association. But other than that, I'm always able to set my own schedule and would be able to attend all meetings, as well as extracurricular activities. Looking forward to, if appointed, being involved in a lot of things, because the board needs to be represented at a lot of the activities as well to show our support for those students that we are invested in their learning with.
All right. Good. Well,
Thank you.
All right, thank you much.
Thanks for coming in. All right. G, patrons. Gary Crandall.
Possible to get that HDMI cable?
Where does it even go?
The what?
It plugs into the
We
wall.
checked it earlier to see if it's long enough.
There you go.
All right. Ready?
You ready?
I got 3 minutes or 5 minutes? 5 minutes, okay, very good. All right, good evening, you guys. I wanted to talk about the Ron Clark house system, but first I want to thank you guys for acknowledging Charlie Kirk this evening. We definitely lost a great man, and he knew his arguments well, and he knew his history well. It will be definitely a loss. So thank you guys for recognizing that. On the Ron Clark house system, I got a call the other day and said, hey, have you ever heard of Ron Clark? I said, no, I haven't. Is he local? They said, no, he's not. I said, no, I haven't heard of that. So I said, I'll look into it and get back to you. And so I started looking into it. And I sent a letter to Ms. Wrench asking her, what your guys' goals and visions are. And this was kind of what the email I sent her and some summary of the stuff that she sent me back. My first question was, what's the primary goal of implementing it? And that was, sounds like to keep kids safe and feel connected and welcomed. And then I asked who is bringing it to the program. Sounded like principals and staff. And then I asked, was there any SEL or DEI included in the program? Because I know you guys have been watching out for that stuff pretty closely, especially in the curriculum. She said no. And then I kind of said, well, how is the RCA system going to advance the strategic plan? She went through all that, and she gave a very nice, long answer and all that. So I won't bore you with all that. So I guess my question to you guys is, how much have you guys been involved in this? Are you guys pretty familiar with this program, or what's your level of understanding? Well, I guess I'll ask my trustee, Beth.
I got to participate in the.
Are we?
Oh,
we're
yeah,
not
no,
supposed
we're
to be
not supposed
answering.
to.
Okay.
I can get back
Well-
with you.
Okay, that would be
Yeah.
lovely.
I can and will.
Because I didn't want to, I thought about asking you, just emailing this to you, but then I was like, well, I know that Jody's always said that you got to present it to the whole board so that everybody has
Yep.
the same information. So we'll table that for right this minute.
I do have an answer for you, and I will respond to you.
Okay, perfect. So I kind of reviewed the Ron Clark house system, and I used their website, X post, Instagram, LinkedIn, and even the dreaded ChatGPT, which I have a love-hate relationship with. It's great for summaries, but it's not to be trusted on everything. So I always back it up with the actual data. So I was mainly looking at, is there any SEL or DEI in the program? And so I went to their founding principles and said, okay, what's there? And one of the first things that stood out is they talk about, varied academic, social, emotional backgrounds of the students. They celebrate diversity in different cultures. So, of the SEL, the social, the emotional is there. The learning there is hopefully there, because that's the whole point of this thing is, I think, from what I've seen from their website, they promote learning and academics and a good thing. So obviously the learning's there. The diversity's mentioned. I didn't see anything in equity and inclusion on this particular page. Digging a little bit deeper, I went to ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT the same question: is there any SEL or DEI included with the Ron Clark House program? And ChatGPT came back and said, yes, the Ron Clark House program incorporates elements that support social, emotional learning, diversity, equity, and inclusion, although these are not explicitly labeled as such. I also learned something about DEI. They've added a new thing, DEIB, belonging, is part of the DEI as well. So that was kind of interesting. ChatGPT's conclusion with this was that the structures and values of DEI and SEL are embedded in the Ron Clark system. And so the word embedded was interesting. It's like, well, what else are they embedding in that? So that's my first question to you guys, is what else is embedded in the program? And then the next question is, do the parents want their kids exposed to this kind of stuff? And are the taxpayers willing to pay for a system tied to this type of ideology? And then, of course, since the school system is granted existence out of the Idaho State Constitution, does the Idaho State Constitution and the founding documents recognize this kind of stuff? So that was kind of the framework that I approached this with. I looked at the house system. One interesting one was South Africa, the Isibindi House. They mentioned Shaka Zulu, who I'd never heard of, and Nelson Mandela, who I had heard of. So I researched both of those. And Shaka Zulu killed a lot of people. They don't really know how many, but he kind of revolutionized the war in South Africa. And Nelson Mandela, that was 5 minutes? Okay, it goes fast.
Are we, can the audience talk to each other?
Yeah, no.
Not in a business meeting. We'll follow up though.
Yeah, yeah, thanks for coming in and doing that research and stuff. I'd like to see the rest of it also. Yeah. Oh, you want that back? There we go. Jump rope. All right, number 2, Susie Patterson. And you have 5 minutes as well.
All right. Ready? All right. Thank you for your time and listening to my statement. This is concerning the firing of Jessica Bowler, the volleyball coach. It is a tragedy to the dedicated, hardworking players that have committed months of hard work to the St. Mary's volleyball program. The decision to remove Jessica with no real evidence hurts the players greatly. Their circumstances were not even investigated properly, and Teresa never even had the courtesy to meet with the players and parents. At this point, it seems like the school district staff cares more about their personal agenda than the girls in the volleyball program. The school district needs to have the team's best interest in mind. There's nothing more than politics at its best. Jessica and this team wanted to win, and it doesn't sound like the school district is on their side or on the team at all. It should speak volumes that the 16 girls walked out of the gym willing to quit because of the school district's poor decisions. The players and students should be heard and have a voice. However, the school district still fails to give them that. There were 16 girls that stood outside the gym crying because of their coach being fired, while the superintendent called them liars. These girls were dedicated to their team and their coach, and we should respect that. Jessica took our volleyball program and pieced it together as one instead of the broken pieces it was. She involved the community and taught the girls how to lift each other up instead of tearing each other down. The girls now have a very rough season ahead of them because of the selfish decisions made. Also, it came to my attention that the girls in a peaceful protest went to school in their jerseys, and then they were told their jerseys break their dress code and are inappropriate and apparently revealing, and so they were reprimanded for this. So I believe you should investigate and see, because according to your dress code, whether you're in school or whether you're participating in sports, you're supposed to follow the dress code. So either these girls were set up to and given inappropriate uniforms and told them that they were not obscene and were not breaking it, when in fact they were, and that they're allowed to go to other communities and flaunt themselves, or it is not inappropriate and this is harassment and bullying. So I would like you to investigate that. And then the other thing is, there is photographic evidence of midriff showing and other things that is normally you would say is immodest clothing, and apparently hearing from staff it does happen regularly. So then the other question is, if you're not going to toe the line for everyone, then the next question is, why are only these girls considered immodest when they wear their school jerseys? And why are the students who wear midriffs and immodest clothing going to school not considered immodest? So there is, again, some kind of element of harassment happening here. I'd like you to investigate that and see why were they chosen and not others. The other thing, obviously, I'm here to speak on the behalf of those parents and those students because they fear retribution. And so we're having a culture of retribution here. They've already been punished once for wearing their jerseys. Obviously, they have a real fear of retribution coming towards them and their families. So I just wanted to call that also to attention before I conclude. Because of these circumstances, I would recommend investigating the removal of the superintendent of the St. Mary's School District, as she would also have approved these if they're obscene, and if she's not paying attention when they are trying to peacefully figure out a resolution and ask questions. If she does not want to deal with issues, then that is a problem. If she doesn't have the courtesy to meet with parents and students, but she wants to get a paycheck. We'd also recommend removal of Dakota, the sports coordinator, for not doing her job. She failed multiple times in scheduling refs and tournaments. She's not doing her job. And again, she would also have to have approved those jerseys saying they weren't immodest, but if they are immodest, then she was entrapping the students to then be having retribution against them for wearing immodest clothing. Thank you for your time.
All right. Do we have anybody in open forum or visitors? All right. And that is also 5 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. Kaylee Asbury.
Hi,
Thanks
guys.
for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I'm here today as a parent and PTO president for the Hayburn to talk about the Ron Clark Academy program. We had our sorting day on Friday. Amazing, amazing. I want to start with our kids are so excited to feel like they belong somewhere. We have a lot of kids who don't get that from a lot of places. This is good. I have a memo from our PTO as a board. I'm going to read it to you guys. My heart's racing at about 400 beats a minute right now. Sorry. Can you hear that? I've met all of you. So nice to see you.
You're among friends.
We're all good here. We're all good.
We're all good.
I'm trying. I know. I've been in the wrestling room. I'm a little stressed. The PTO collectively would like to express our appreciation and support for the Ron Clark House system. We realize the effort it takes to bring something new to the district, and we're in support of this exciting program that will foster teamwork and unity among staff and students alike. The joy, laughter, and excitement witnessed both in person and via the live stream was palpable. We are excited to see how this grows into new traditions here at Hayburn Elementary. So far, what I've gotten as a parent and PTO rep is that our kids are working for something bigger. Our kids are not just focused on, oh, I really hope I get it when it comes to the house. This is a program that's working on building good humans. My son came home from Friday, this huge, exciting day, and he got sorted into his house, and he's feeling so good, so good. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? Work on my character. Work on my character. Nice. He's going to be working on his traits so that they see him. He's going to work for those points, really be responsible. He's in 3rd grade. In case you didn't know, he's 8 years old. So it's pretty beautiful situation when your 8-year-old comes to tell you he's going to work on his character. There's a comment made from Ron Clark on a post, and I just want to read you his insight. The house system is meant to be encouraging and fun, and for our younger students, it is introduced in a very simple, age-appropriate way. Points are not only earned for academics, they are also given for effort, character, and growth. The focus is on teaching children to work as a team, celebrate each other's successes, and show good sportsmanship. When I tell you that there were these kindergartners coming up to these 5th graders, we're in the same house, I'm with you, and these 5th graders are taking them in I'm awfully proud to have you here. It's huge for these littles to realize that they have that. It was huge for Upriver to come to Hayburn and be like, oh, I know these people now. We're friends. We can do this. I'm going to be with them later in life. Here's a good start. It was good to have them at Hayburn. Hayburn's excited to have them with us, vice versa, do things together. It's beautiful, the amount of kids who are so excited to feel part of something. So, as PTO president, super supportive of this whole program, and a parent to Bentley. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for approving it, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. He had a blue beard for it, and it was really, really nice.
All right. Superintendent report.
There's another picture. I'll talk a little bit more about it.
Oh, you had the
They
tunnel
ran
and
through the
everything,
tunnel
huh?
on the wheel. It was, you didn't get.
I didn't, well, I seen pictures, but I didn't go to it. Oh.
Dusty. I'll go back to the beginning. It's really something. Yeah. Beth was there. All right. copy as well. I have some additional pictures and this, the one that will be displayed. So I'll start off with staff preparations. So before the kids came to school, the staff met over the summer. There was a conference for the professional learning communities where all the schools were represented, and it's an opportunity to just learn better how we work together, how we improve our leadership, how we improve our instruction, so that we can have a really noticeable impact on our student learning, like upriver data that you're going to see a little bit later. Then before, well, here's another picture. Again, right at the start of school, before our kiddos came back, was our one of our basic safety trainings with our new Panacea group, and just an opportunity to be really aware of our surroundings, how to prepare, how to defend, and keep our kids, bless you, and keep our kids and staff safe until law enforcement arrived in case there was ever an intruder. Then our alumni there, and just a picture of our in-service. So staff started a week before the kiddos arrived, and it was an opportunity to meet with all the staff and kind of set the stage. One big part of the in-service was just talking about all the different departments and how they get their departments running smoothly and all their operations in place so that the teachers can focus on teaching and the kids can focus on their learning. And that's just a big team purpose. The other part of the message of the in-service was, again, the purpose, there to make a positive difference. Same message that we've talked about for the last 3 years, is just being a team. And really, in the in-service, we really talked about being a high-functioning team. So again, that we have a real noticeable impact on our students with our vision. This is our vision that we have for all of our students. Quality education is part of it through collaboration. Every time they walk across the stage, they have the skills, knowledge, responsibility, and confidence to be that productive and successful citizen. Not just for some of our students, but all of our students. Our goals are ways to monitor how effective we're being as the adults with our programs and our instruction, to make sure more and more students are growing and achieving these goals, and then ultimately realizing the vision the time they walk across the stage. So that was our in-service, plus staff had time at the school sites to get ready for the kiddos, preparing the buildings and preparing their classrooms, which many of you had a chance to see. Ready to receive the kids on their first day, September 3rd. So you see a little bit of the back-to-school assemblies, just going over expectations and welcoming everybody. You see the little ones learning about some routines, having lunch all together in a big cafeteria, and just how you walk through the halls and get ready for PE. Which then leads to a lot of the older kids, what's the routines are in place. Then you get to see that grade level instruction and kids having fun with grade level learning right out of the first 8 days of school. Of course, our elementaries, playtime is important, part of our school day, and this is zoomed in a little bit, but this is a little piece of the new playgrounds at both Upriver and at Hayburn. And we thank all the donations and all the people who helped install these playgrounds so the kids could have that much more structured play and exercise. Paul, you're a big part of that.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time building it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had IDL, Department of Lands. They put in the two structures that we put together, I think we had about 20 days down there working on it in 2 years. So it was a lot.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
we
Well,
got
there
it
you
all
go.
together, and we did it really cheap.
And then for that, my little kiddo right there. I was doing pull-ups with one of the little girls, and I wasn't as good back when I was, 12 or 13. So she said, "It's okay, Miss Wrench, you can put your feet on the ground and help pull me up." I'm like, "Thank you." And then this is the welcome back. So this is a little bit about the student engagement program, or the house program that you heard about a little bit tonight. And I'll just give a little, we'll follow up for sure, and I'll give a little brief background and then talk about the day. So the house program did originate back in the early 1900s in Britain. And the idea was, with boarding schools, the idea was to bring the students together who were out of boarding school and promote teamwork. Also a sense of belonging as they're out of boarding school, leadership, and strict discipline or character. That's a lot of the history of where it originated. And then you fast forward to today, and you'll hear from the principals and the staff. The intent of the house program is really to be a student engagement program, where it is tapping into our goal 3, where we do want kids to feel connected, to feel important, to feel special, to feel like they belong. And not just to have a few friends, but to have a whole house of friends. And not just to have 1 or 2 teachers, but to have a whole house of adults that are in their corner, cheering for them. So this is the day, which is really hard to explain unless you were there. I was. So, you have both elementary schools in the gymnasium. They run through this tunnel, and the entire 2 schools are cheering for the kids. I mean, it's like the standing ovation moment. I had chills. So they all take their seat, they're in the stands, or they're on the gym floor, and then one class at a time, they go up on stage, everybody's still cheering for them, the music's loud, the drums are playing, and they get a spin. And a lot of the kids were like, red, I'm in the house of green, I'm in the house of black, I'm in the house of blue. It's like, okay, cool. Jumping up and down, everybody's cheering for them, they're running across the stage, they're gonna go down the stairs. I don't have a picture, I don't know how I didn't get a picture of the bouncy house. And then they go down the slide. Even Deputy Dorman went down the slide. And then they go right back into with their schoolmates, and they're on the stands and in the gym just cheering the rest of the kids. So it was a pretty spectacular day. You heard one parent tonight, a little testimonial, and some of the kids' feedback was, best field trip ever. Can we do this again? Thanks for inviting me to your school. And they loved the loud, they loved the music, they loved the drums, they loved spinning the wheel, they liked clapping for their schoolmates, they liked the bouncy house, and they liked going down the slide. They liked meeting new friends, what some of them said. So that's it in a nutshell. There'll be more to come, and we'll certainly follow up with any concerns. Also, just like our other 3 goals, this program aligns to goal 3, so we will certainly monitor closely and make sure that the intent is with better discipline, better attendance, improved academics, and a growing sense of feeling connected. We'll make sure we're monitoring our data so those results in the program comes to fruition. Then we got another big highlight. Upriver on the up and up. 3 years, and now they are out of program improvement. And you ask why? The principal and their staff in the last 3 years have just been they've worked incredibly hard. They've been super collaborative. They've been very intentional in all of their programs and instruction, a focus on academics, attendance, and discipline in terms of being respectful and safe and responsible. They worked hard, they worked diligent with the students, and they've made incredible noticeable gains in their improved attendance, their language arts scores, their reading inventory scores, and their math scores that surpass. They're over 51% of the kiddos are at or above. So it's pretty remarkable. So we want to give hats off to Principal Blackwell and his team.
I think they go a step further.
Yep.
Thank you.
They're going to speak at the state, right, with other program improvement schools, being recognized as a model of how do you and what steps do you take to get out program improvement. So we look to them as a model as we continue to see our kids grow and achieve, and they'll be speaking to other schools on what do you do.
When
to
will
see
it,
it.
when will that happen?
September 24th. We'll get you more information.
Good work.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Really
Do you have the
excellent.
graph of their improvement?
I don't have that graph.
Oh,
But it's
gosh.
up, it's like this,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, you do on
year
the.
after year after year, it just climbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do on your building report, but I didn't slide it up there. You'll see that again in October when we all come back and share our data by school and by district. Good point. It's very noticeable, very recognizable, their gains. It's just some communication venues. Now just going to quick nuts and bolts. Try to keep up with the happenings of the school district. And patron comment is one communication venue, because then we follow up days after the meeting. Some key calendar events are up there as well. Including September 24th, when Upriver gets to speak and share their successes.
Where's that happening at?
Coeur d'Alene, is it Coeur d'Alene? I think I missed one slide. When we're talking about our goals and our vision. These are some of the values when we built our strategic plan a couple years ago with staff and community, board, kids, parents. And so truly, when we're making decisions, these are the values that we look to lean on in making our decisions. End of report.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Doc.
All right. J, board request to administration for board development. Anything we need?
Homework that I know that is still on the docket was to look at the 4-day work week for 25, are we in 25 now? 26, 27. So gathering input throughout the year. And then to still gather information and keep the non-lethal policy alive. So those are the two I still have.
And then, along with that, just our continued safety as we work with Panacea. So that's kind of an ongoing work in progress with all elements of safety. The hard items on the school structures, plus the programs
The
and
training.
training.
And we have that safety committee meeting where we do invite parents and also all of our first responders, Panacea, our state coordinator when he can make it, police, fire, and those happen almost monthly or every 6 weeks. So that allows for that ongoing conversation and steps in the right direction with the safety. Yeah. For sure.
All right. Action items. A, review and consider a motion to approve interagency agreement between St. Mary's Joint School District number 41 and Dyern Health Center Incorporated, doing business as Heritage Health.
Mhm. This is the agreement very similar to Lone Pines. Lone Pines serves the 3 St. Mary's schools for the mental health, and Heritage Health serves the Upriver families.
I'll move that.
Second. All right, got a motion, Josh second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. All right, review and consider a motion to approve 2025-2026 applications for in lieu of transportation.
We have 2, so any family that lives more than 1.5 miles away from the school or the bus stop can be reimbursed for mileage.
It's just these two.
Right, if it's more than 1.5 miles from the bus stop or school.
I'll move that in lieu of transportation applications.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carried. All right, review and consider motion to declare a need to approve alternative authorization content specialist for Alyssa Ray Daniel for humanities.
Move that motion.
A second.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Beth? Motion carried.
Oh, yeah.
This is her third year teaching at the high school.
Right. Yeah.
She's got a lot of experience.
Okay, review and consider motion to award number 2 bids for the 2025-2026 school year. Superintendent wrench and maintenance custodial supervisor Joe, if you got any information on that.
I'll defer to Joe. I mean, you can see the two bids.
Yeah.
Typically,
yeah.
we go with the lowest bid.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Price per gallon.
Yeah.
St. Joe Oil.
And the bids map, they're similar, they're comparing.
Right.
I move that motion for the fuel bid.
Second.
St. Joe Oil for $3.29.
Okay, yeah, we got a motion.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Huh? Aye. What about mine?
All right, yeah, motion carried. E, review and consider motion to convene an executive session for Idaho Code.
So moved.
We got a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or do we need a roll call to go in?
Yeah, we
We're gonna
need a
do a
roll
roll call.
call.
Jody?
Aye.
Josh?
Aye.
Aye. Beth?
Aye.
All right, let's go convene an executive session in the back office. consider motion to reconvene the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. G, review and consider a motion to appoint Zone 5 candidate.
I make a motion to table said Zone 5 selection of a candidate.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to table Zone 5 and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Or motion tabled. 10. Review and consider a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.